Hey gamers, it's your Guide Master Guilty with a walkthrough for the Brookhaven Hospital. And the objective of this level is to find Laura because she has intel on where Mary is. Grab the map from there so we know where we're going, and head in this direction because we'll find Laura running up the stairs. After the cutscene ends, head back the way you came and turn right because you'll need to find a clue in this area. Now you need to enter this room, but the door's locked, but we can smash the window and break through. If you unlock this door, you can get out here and let Maria in. And we came in this room for a note to the left in this drawer here. Nurses, doctors, trees is a clue. Now back in the lobby, we can actually use that clue to figure out what the numbers are. So on this painting there's 4 trees, so note that down. And we're going to look at another photo here. So 4 trees, this one has 2 doctors. And 7 nurses. Now if you remember the order, it was nurses, doctors, trees. So we've got 7 nurses, 2 doctors and 4 trees, and that's the code. 7, 2, 4. And there are lots of puzzles in the hospital, so be ready for many brain teasers. And we have the basement key now, so that's where we're going to head. Back to the staircase where we found Laura. We can actually go downstairs to the basement, and we won't be in there for long. It sounds a bit scary, there are a few enemies in there, but we'll get through it. First things first, pick up the map, and the reason we're here is we need to turn on the power to activate the elevator. So go to the generator room, and then this is where the generator is, but we'll need a couple tools to make it work. Now through the double doors here, you'll encounter some mannequins, so be very careful because they're all around you. And there are some supplies in nearby rooms. I'm not going to show you the locations for them, I'm just going to focus on the main objectives. But for example here, in the boiler room, you'll find your empty canister, you'll need to fill out the generator. But remember it's empty, we'll need to find the fuel source now. Nearby in the laundry storage, you can move this bin here towards the wall to gain access to the window. Can unlock the door for Maria here, and this will be the way out too. On the other side of the room, you'll find where you need to fill up the empty fuel can. Okay, there are some more enemies that have spawned, so be very careful on the way back to the generator. But once you're here, fill that up, and then the power should be on. Flick the switch to turn the generator on, and just be careful because some more enemies have spawned. But we're going to meet down at the elevator so we can go up to the 2nd floor now. And this will trigger a cutscene after a short elevator ride, so you'll leave Maria on the bed. So just behind us you can find Maria, go check in on her. She's pretty safe here, no one will attack her. But now we're just going to check out all the other rooms nearby. C4 restroom, C2 has a little clue. You don't actually need to see it, it's not really an important clue. But through the double doors we're going to encounter our first nurse. And she's much more tougher than the mannequins and the lying figures. At this door here, we'll need a code, and we'll find the note for that later. But on this little paper it tells you that someone's being irresponsible and left a little paper lying around. But we'll definitely find that soon. Now this here is an optional area. If you crawl through this little gap here, there are 3 enemies in this room, so you might use a lot of ammo, or if you want to use your pipe you can do so. After they're defeated, you find this answering machine with this strange sound coming from it. And in this room and the other one you'll find plenty of ammo and health drinks. You'll even find a photograph if you're collecting all 26 of them. Use the double doors to get out and you're back in the room you came from. Now this is where the true puzzle comes in. Through these double doors ahead of us, this is the main puzzle for the hospital. We're going to have to find 3 bracelets hidden around the place, and the clues to those locations are in these 3 papers here. So one's in the room C1, another says it's in D1, and the last one that says move to L1 used to be in S3. Now you can use this voice recorder and head to the save point here if you need to save. And that's it for now in that room, but if you head to the left you can check for supplies in the other rooms. But a nurse will be in this hallway, so be careful. When you've dealt with her, you can continue searching the other rooms until you come to the woman's locker room. And make sure you search this room before continuing because you'll definitely want this weapon here. Finally we get the shotgun. We've been collecting a lot of ammo in this hospital and we finally get to use it. Just grab all the other ammo and supplies in this room, there's plenty of them. And there's also a key item in this teddy bear. So you'll get a bent needle, we'll use that later and I'll show you how. But now we can use the shotgun, make sure you reload it before trying to shoot. And the best way to kill the nurses with a shotgun is one shot and then while it's down you can just stomp on it. And again in the nurse's office just here, you'll find another nurse. Very fitting for a nurse to be. And do the same thing. And in this nurse's office you'll also find the L1 room key. And you actually walked past this room just a bit earlier, so come to here where the question mark is on the map and you can unlock this door to get in here. Like in the basement, we need to move the trash can towards a window. So here it is now, and I put it on the other side of the room and we can crawl through this windowsill. Follow the linear path until you're in the utility room and you can crawl through the hole here. Now we're on the first floor, we're next to the medical records room and we're just going to crawl through this little vent here. And this is where we'll find our first bracelet. Once you pick up the marked bracelet, an enemy will storm in the room, but it will give you a way out the place. On the staircase on the second floor where we just were, we can go up to the 3rd floor, and it might have been faster to go this way first than going down in the hall to the 1st floor. But either way is fine, and this is where we'll find Laura. It'll be a bit harder to get to her now. And on this floor we'll find a couple nurses, so hit them while they're down. And then on this section of the map we'll find a combination lock. We haven't quite worked out the code for it. But in this room here we'll find a puzzle we'll need to work out, but we can't quite complete it yet because we'll need some more parts. We just got the 1st floor inner ward key and we can head here for some more parts we'll need later for the puzzle. Now onto the 1st floor. Back at where the lobby is, you'll find this door is now open and this indicates there are some enemies. So there's a mannequin in this room and a couple nurses nearby. And this is where we can use that inner ward key. There's a few things we can do here now. There's a few enemies around the place. For example, there's this nurse to the right. And there's a shortcut you can open up here if you ever need to use it. And over to the left, we're going to find the note for that keypad we saw on the 2nd floor. There's a few items around, but here it is. So that's 3578. And back in the hallway, you can go into the day room and there's an enemy in here, so kill the nurse. And there are a couple supplies in this room as well. Make sure the nurse is dead because they can come back alive again. And squeeze through the hole shortly after. And to the left we're going to find a drain, and to get in there we need another part to connect to that needle we got earlier. And this will just unlock back to the hallway. But climb through this window here and there's a lot of enemies in the garden. You can either destroy them all and get a little bit of ammo and supplies, but I don't think it's worth it. Try to just go around them and you should be fine. There's about 4 or 5 enemies here. And this is the pool room. There are supplies in this room, so take your time and take note of that little vent that we just passed. There's a mannequin and a bug in this room, take them out and then get the medical tube. Now we're going to head back to that green drain and combine a couple items. So we need the medical tube and the bent needle combined. And use that on the drain and we get a maintenance key. And back to that door I told you at the pool, open that up with a maintenance key, turn the nozzle and the pool will be drained. Now there are a couple of enemies in here, but they're not alive. Bash the wall here. There was a clue on the room C3 about this eye, but you didn't really need to find it, it's just breaking the wall. But what you want to do now is run out of here because there's a lot of enemies nearby now. Now come to the end of the hallway, we haven't been here yet, and we can unlock a shortcut to the staircase. And around the corner we'll find a nurse. Take her out and head into the pantry up ahead. This is where we're going to find some mold remover. So you can also take out the enemies up ahead too. There's no need to go that way, you can unlock a shortcut, but it's really optional. Using those nearby staircase, you can head to the second floor where that keypad is, and remember we got the code for it now. So in your notes, it's here, 3578. That's the order of the angle of the line. There's actually a nurse next door and she'll surprise you, but she shouldn't be able to harm you if you don't come back this way. Bit of gun ammo there. Head in this room and you want to pick up this here. This is what we need to use with the X-ray puzzle. The nearby door will unlock a shortcut back to the staircase too, so you don't have to deal with that nurse earlier on. So head back to the third floor where the X-ray is, and we're going to put these little things together. So we need to put the mold on this radiograph first. Now we clean that up, we can use all 4 of them to put on the graph here. So first of all we need to line up the black markings with each other, so you can rotate them so that X lines up. And this radiograph, actually I'm moving this out the way, this one can rotate so the lines line up here. The fractured hand can line up there with the old patches or the old fractures. And then you can line up the line towards the bottom there. And you can see the code now, 43712. Now it's a bit hard to read, but it is marked on your map too. 43712 with that combination lock. Quickly hurry because you need to put down that nurse again, she can come back alive. But here we are. So we're going to go right first to 4, left to 37, and then again back to 12. Great job, you've unlocked it. And this is where we'll find our third and final bracelet. So checking your inventory, we got the filthy, the bloodstained and the marks bracelet. Now come back to the director's office on the second floor and we're going to place the bracelets on the hand now. You want to line all the bracelets up so 2 numbers on the clean side are lined up all together with that green strip on the mannequin's arm. So you can see it right there. You may need to swap them around until the numbers line up and the hand reveals its key. Now the puzzle isn't quite over yet, that was only part of it. With the key we can come over to this door and unlock it. There's 2 things in this room. One's a button, and we'll need it for the machine next door. And then we need to swap some books around here. I usually start from the right and work my way to the left. You can do an unlimited amount of turns of these books, but this is just the fastest way to do it. And once that's done, you got a patterns marked on your map now from 1 to 9. And you'll need that to decipher the next part of the code. Now pause this video if you want to work it out yourself, but basically from the symbols it goes 1 to 9 and you need to do 9, 2, 4, 5, 7, 1. So on the machine, first things first, put the safe button on the machine. And again, 9, 2, 4, 5, 7, 1. And this will unlock the rooftop key. And guess where we're going to go now? The roof. So head back upstairs to the 3rd floor. And you would have noticed this other staircase. We're going to use that here. Now there's a couple items you can find on the rooftop, but when you're ready, go in these double doors, pick up this note, and then walk out and you'll trigger a cutscene. Pyramid Head will throw us back onto the 3rd floor, and this is the time to go back to get the rest of the supplies because there's no turning back from here. Follow the linear path until you find Laura and the cutscene. Now you're onto a Flesh Lips boss fight. What you have to do here is avoid its attacks from the roof. There's plenty of ammo, it'll give you enough ammo to defeat the boss too, and some health drinks. So when it exposes its body from the roof, press the dodge button and start shooting at it. The shotgun's the best for this. And basically what you're doing is removing its metal cage from its body. Once you remove it and the flesh is exposed, that will start the 2nd phase of the boss fight. So rinse and repeat here. It might hit you a little bit, but that's fine. And you can actually stagger it if you shoot the arm that's holding it up on the roof. Eventually, when this happens, this is the 2nd phase of the boss fight, and it'll start to make more room for you. Where it just broke into another room, you can find ammo here too. Unload all the ammo you have on it and it will eventually drop. And that's the Brookhaven Hospital. I'll do another video on the 2nd part of the hospital when you're in the other world. In the meantime, please hit that like and subscribe button and I'll see you next time. Bye.